Your Excellency Ambassador D'Amico, Excellencies, distinguished participants, it is my honor to address you at this meeting of the Working Group on the Strengthening of the Biological Weapons Convention, BWC. I am pleased that the first meeting in March agreed the necessary organizational issues so that you can begin discussions today on many substantive topics on the agenda. I would like to congratulate Ambassador D'Amico on his election as chair of the working group and the other members of the Bureau, Ambassador Petit of France and Mr. Genti of Georgia, on their election as vice chairs. Please be assured that you will have the full support of my office. Dear colleagues, we are observing a dramatic evolution in biological risks as the security challenges posed by biological threats becoming increasingly complex. The COVID-19 pandemic increased the prominence of biological risks and demonstrated the catastrophic global impact that infectious disease can have. Pandemic showed the disruption that could be caused if biological agents were to be used in a deliberate manner as a weapon of war or terror. It also demonstrated the importance of the BWC and the need for it to be fully operationalized, properly institutionalized, and fit for purpose. It is not only a pillar of disarmament and international security, but contributes to strengthening global health security. In addition, effective implementation of the BWC contributes to the Sustainable Development Goals. Strong public health systems are vital to prevent and combat naturally occurring diseases and are the first line of defense against biological weapons. As states parties to the convention have acknowledged by establishing this working group, the BWC must be bolstered and its institutional weaknesses addressed. The convention does not have an international verification regime, nor a separate international organization to facilitate its full and effective implementation. It operates on an annual budget of only around $2.1 million, serviced by a small 4-person implementation support unit. Such weaknesses must be urgently addressed in order to deal effectively with the mounting challenges posed by biorisks. Thus, we can ensure that the norm against the misuse of biology remains strong and that the opportunities provided by rapid advances in science and technology are used only for good. The 9th Review Conference last year set out a new approach to strengthening the BWC. This working group is its centerpiece. The group should build upon the successful outcome of the review conference and take effective, concrete, and practical action on the topics mandated to it. You should use the discussions at the review conference as your starting point, given the widespread agreement on many of the issues to be considered. The urgency calls us to be innovative and to avoid repeating the failures of the past. I therefore encourage you to focus on quickly finding consensus on topics where there is common ground. You should build on the positive momentum that I witnessed at the review conference and on the diligent work of the Bureau and the facilitators in the months since. I believe that you would benefit from exploring the many solid examples of similar mechanisms which exist across the UN system, particularly the development of mechanisms for the implementation of Article 10 and for the review of developments in science technology. Dear colleagues, the BWC is a necessary and pivotal pillar of biosecurity, but it is by no means, by itself, sufficient. We must also consider it within the wider framework of the international architecture to address and combat biological risks. This was made loud and clear by the Secretary General in his recent policy brief on the new agenda for peace. I am a strong believer in the need for comprehensive and cross-cutting approaches to global challenges, and in the unique role that the United Nations and relevant multilateral organizations can play and should play. When confronting global challenges, we cannot limit ourselves to our traditional and comfortable bureaucratic silos. The new Agenda for Peace notes that risks to global biological and health security are diverse and interconnected, and that technological advances and the complex synergies and interactions between them continue to erode the barriers to the development of biological weapons. The new Agenda for Peace therefore recommends enhanced efforts to identify emerging and evolving biological risks, the reinforcement of anticipation, coordination, and preparedness for such risks, and proposes that member states work with the United Nations system to provide options for strengthened prevention and response. The way this working group convenes experts dealing with multiple aspects of biorisks means that it is already well aligned with the new Agenda for Peace. We have an opportunity to connect the dots between communities in our thinking on the threats posed by biological weapons. While naturally occurring diseases will continue to present the main challenge, the intentional use of disease as a weapon should not be ignored in these discussions. Dear participants, I believe that strengthening the Convention is a collective and global responsibility, responding to multiple factors and requiring a multiplicity of actors, many of whom are present here today. I remain confident that your deliberations will be fruitful and take us closer to our collective goal of strengthening the Convention. I thank you very much for your attention.